Good morning, friends. Welcome back. What I'd like to talk to you today about is 5 notable characteristics of Rad, who is also a narcissist. They will focus, and this is a thread that runs through all narcissists. They will focus on special events in your life, whether that be joyful or painful, maybe a death in the family, a wedding, the birth of a baby. These areas in your life, they will focus on and target you at your most vulnerable. Because you are vulnerable, your focus is on that. And when your focus is taken off of them, they want that attention back, for one thing. And they know that you are in a weak position when you are not paying attention. They want that control over you and where your attention is at. So when you are paying attention to that new baby being born or the death of that loved one, it's not all about them at that point. So they will use shock value. They know that you're expecting compassion and love and sympathy in those particular times in your life. They will target you during those times. They are shocking. They are horrific. They are so unbelievably hurtful. And you question, how could someone be so cold-hearted? I had experienced the death of a loved one in my family, and my Rad daughter, who I think she was maybe 11, around 11, 10 or 11 at that time, she made it appear that she was being very helpful. I will put the groceries away. You sit down. I will make you some. Throughout that week, I was finding groceries in the most unusual place. Milk on the floor in the pantry cupboard. Crazy, crazy stuff. And she told me straight out, I wanted you to know that I was kicking you while you were down. That's exactly what she told me. So not only did she do it, she wanted the credit for that incredibly mean thing that she had done. Next, which ties into the first one, they want any event in your life to be tied to them mentally, emotionally. Our bodies actually release hormones that, whether that be something joyful, happy, love, pain, whether that be emotional, mental abuse, physical abuse, any abuse actually causes trauma bonding. And they will use this to burn them in your mind, not the event. They want you to remember what they did to you instead of the event, whether that be a death or a joyful event in your life. They want to, whatever horrific thing that they did to you during that time, they want that to be burned in your mind, not the event. This is actually a primal coping skill. Whether that be good or bad, it's still a bond. It's still a connection. Just talking to another Rad mom about that. Our kids with Rad do not use the frontal lobe part of their brain, which is reason and logic and empathy and emotions. That's where all of that is. They do not, and they've taken pictures of these kids' brains. That part of the brain is so underdeveloped and underused. They are using the part of their brain that goes on instinct, just like an animal would. This trauma bonding is part of that. It's a primal coping skill to ensure a bond, whether it be good or bad. It ensures a connection. You will never forget that person because of that traumatic, horrific thing that they did to you. Therapists teach us as Rad parents to share our feelings with our rad kids and tell them, you did this and this is how it made me feel. They're wanting these kids to learn empathy, to learn to think of other people's feelings. Maybe on some kids it works. Like I've said before, RAD is, to me, comparable to autism in the way of the range of severity is so wide. Some kids can have it just a little. Some kids can have it extreme. My daughter has it severely. To me, teaching these kids, telling these kids, this is how it made me feel. When you did this, this is how it made me feel. I feel like that just verifies to them that they accomplished what they had set out to do. They have no interest in bonding. Not really. Now, I can't speak for every rad child. I can't speak for a rad child, period. But I do know my daughter, and her interest is not in bonding. She has no interest in bonding. I stopped doing that a long time ago. I don't tell her, you hurt my feelings, or this is how it made me feel. I don't do that anymore, because that is just verifying to her, you accomplished what you set out to do, and that was to push my buttons. You got my buttons pushed. Good job. And that actually just teaches them what to do next time. They file that away in their little filing system, their mental filing system that works on you. That's a keeper. Be very cautious with that. Now, I'm not trying to go against what doctors are saying or therapists are trying to teach us to help these kids. I have just learned for myself that does not work with my child. That empowers her to do that again, because that worked. The last thing I'd like to talk to you about is their pride in these things that they accomplished. Pride is so overpowering in them. Now, I'm an artist, and I know when I was a teenager and I was really focused on getting skin tones right in painting, I practiced and practiced and practiced. And I was so proud of myself when I accomplished that. When you're practicing something and you accomplish that, you feel proud. These children practice the craft of manipulation and triangulation. They focus on these things. They practice them. They are proud when they accomplish these things. They are proud when they hurt you. Some parents, some people out there may disagree with that, but the truth of it is that they are proud of it. Philippians 3:19, it says, and it's talking about wicked people. Their end is destruction. Their God is their belly. Now, what that means is, it doesn't necessarily mean just their stomach, but it means material things, their wants, their desires. It's all about nothing to do with spiritual things, but all about the flesh and physical things. So it's a want, it's a desire of theirs. That is their God. This is what the Word of God says. That is their God. Their glory is in their shame, that they are proud of the things that they should be ashamed of. That's what that says. I remember having a couple of different conversations with my daughter. She was in a treatment center, in California for 2 years. Apparently there was another girl there. She had been just telling me a story, and I picked up on what these other things. Apparently this older girl in this treatment center had done something to the woman who was running the place, and my daughter had said, as she's telling me the story, she had said she couldn't believe how mean this girl was, and she thought to herself, I don't know if I could ever get to that point that I could be that mean. But you could tell how she was saying it, she admired this. This was a goal. And she said she likes to shock people with the things that she does. She likes that feeling of shocking them, that she could do that she could actually say that or do that thing. So that told me these are the kinds of things that are her goals. This is what she's practicing to accomplish, and she's proud of herself. This is exactly why she confesses to me. That's not hard to figure out. When someone is confessing and telling you, I did this and this is why I did it, it's because they're proud of it and they want the credit for what they did. Unfortunately, these kids are proud of these things that they're practicing. We know that they're practicing them. And, you know, I want to add in there, these kids are so defiant, and I don't really know how many parents are recognizing the fact that we are telling these kids, I want to help you. I'm on your side. I've told my daughter this, I don't know how many times. I want to see you succeed. And I'll tell her, I can see you as a happy person in society. I can see you smiling and laughing and having a fulfilling life. Now, if they're not going to shower because you want them to, and they won't brush their teeth because you want them to, and they are defying you, even though it's hurting them, in their mind, they're getting even with you. I won't brush my teeth because you want me to. Maybe they're not getting well because we want them to. Comments, suggestions are very welcome. I'd love to hear from you on this topic. Definitely, you know, what do you do? Do we play reverse psychology and start telling them, I don't want you to get well? You know, I don't want you to succeed, just so they will be defiant and show you that they can? I don't know. What do we do in this type of situation? So anyway, random thought there. Like I said, if you have any ideas on that, or I don't know, maybe if anyone has talked to their doctor or therapist about that, or if that's been brought up at all. I've not had anyone talk to me about that. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope that everything is running smooth and happy in your house. Anyway, so until I see you again, have a great day. Bye-bye.